Hello everyone, just getting set up. Might have some cats in the background because half of them are in heat, so a lot of noise going on in this house. But I hope you're all doing alright. Make sure everything sounds okay. Decided I'd just start at the save menu rather than on the main title menu because we were having issues last part with that. So this time I've made sure to go somewhere where the music's a bit slower and more gentle. And also you get to hear this wonderful save music, which I really love. Just checking everything's all good before we start. Yeah, I can see the minute. I haven't been on since we last played, last part, because I'm just going to judge straight into it all and continue where we left off. And I'll just grind as I go, for now. By that I mean levels, of course. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Made sure I got a drink with me because my throat is a bit dry today. I think I'm feeling a little bit of a sore throat, but nothing too bad right now. But I figured I want to make sure I do some recording and I don't let little things like this stop me. So I got plenty of juice to keep me going. And of course, right as I start, all the cats suddenly want to be around me. Every single cat wants to be around me. What are we doing here? Alright. Let's begin loading up the game. Not hearing any issues. Seems like we're all okay. So, just gonna go in assuming that everything's running fine. And we'll improvise as we go along. To be fair, last part was all the trouble was at the beginning, and then as soon as I played a few other games, came back to it, suddenly it was working fine without any issues for the rest of the stream, so I don't know what happened. But in case anyone was confused, that's why the first part was 20 odd minutes of a bit of Bug's Life and a bit of Sibs Hit and Run, just to make sure that it wasn't like my capture card or anything that was going wrong. Yeah. Alright, well, let's keep going. So last time we got to Seiryu Tower in the east sector. And we had just fought Black Tyrannomon, Master Tyrannomon. So now we are getting ready to fight the first leader of the game. Let me just double check all the way. Digimon, because it has been a week since I last played. So we got Greymon for Agumon at level 7. So I'm going to be using him at the start of this next fight. We've got Hookmon on Munmon, which is level 6. Which is fine for now. And we have Cubimon, who's level 13, which is great because we want Cubimon to be as strong as they can be for this next part of the game. So alright, without further ado, let's jump into it all. Anything new with these guys? From Megami's Realm Company, October hit spy on Digimon Online. Yep, this is the same as last time. What you gotta say? Repeating Tom, I think it is. The leader here is a great tamer. He never stops training no matter what. Well, alright then, let's find out. Let's put that to the test. Ooh, before I start as well, I almost forgot to check the equipment. We should have the old claw now, which I'll give to Greymon if I didn't already. Yeah, we got the old claw, good. I did give the old wand, didn't I? Yep, old wand, old claw, perfect. Good, ready to go. We got our very first leader battle, so I figure that's a good way to start the stream off. So let's go. Hey, you're the... Say, you leader, I managed to defeat Master Tyrannomon. Now, will you battle with me? I see, you have the old claw. Alright, make your move. Then we get our first listen to the wonderful leader music, which is yet another bop in this game's amazing soundtrack of bops. So, this leader has a theme of prehistoric style Digimon. So he's going to lead with Minotauromon here, who's got a bit of a fire weakness. It's pretty hard physically, but not much else to him. He's quite slow as well, so we can work around that. My best recommendation for the first leader is bring someone who's got a bit of bulk and can hit pretty hard on spirit attack, like special attacks. And you'll get through that first one easy enough. Now we have Tyrannomon here, who hits for fire elemental damage, so can be a bit more scary. Fire won't do much to him, so I'm just gonna go for regular attacks here. And we got a water power last time. Oh, did you nudge it? Oh, hold on. Ah, sorry. Got a cat in here. Okay, I think that's something back to normal. Alright, just be a second. Sorry about that. Alright, sorry about that. Just having issues with the cats. Shutting them out for once, because she was knocking one of the cables, which is connected to the computer. Thankfully, I don't think I lost anything on the stream. It's still running as normal. Might just be a little weird visual hiccup there. Ah, great. This is the only thing with Agumon, because he has a really low speed. They're going to evade a lot of my attacks. But because I've trained up a little bit, there's a chance for me to at least evade some of his attacks. But I'm hoping this water power one boosts our damage up a bit. Not much really. This is going to be the long, tedious part of the fight because I don't really have a good strategy against Tyrannomon. He's kind of a bulky, annoying Digimon to fight. I'm going to have to heal up after this one. The good thing about Tyrannomon is he doesn't have any like tricks up his sleeve. He's just a fire-based physical attacker. So as long as we could outlast him, we should be alright. And I did buy plenty of power charges before the fight for some healing, because I'm not above healing in this game. No! We haven't even got to the real threat of the fight yet. Like I say, this part's just going to be a bit tedious because I don't really want to risk me with Digimon right now. This should hopefully be the last hit on. Nope. Never mind. That speed stat's really not paying off. Yeah, that's the thing with Agumon, like I say, he levels up really slow compared to the other Digimon, and his speed stat's quite low, so it also makes it not always the best Digimon for these early fights, but he's also good, but he does have some decent bulk, and he hits quite hard with the fire attacks, which is why I wanted to use it first. I don't mind if he goes down here, because Apemon's pretty tough. The thing with Apemon is he's very fast, and he hits pretty hard, so, like, really fast compared to a lot of other Digimon at the start. That's alright, we've got life discs. B. My goodness. Got the cats jumping all over the place. Let's see, who's faster? 182. They're the same speed. Just about. Cubimon's slightly slower. So, I'm actually going to go Cubimon next. And I'll save Hookmon as my revival if I need it. Okay. Yeah, actually, let me double check out. Do I have... Yeah, I do have one more life disc, so I need to be careful when to use that. Let's go for Thunderbolt. This is a decent damage, hopefully. Oh, not, because 8mon is stupidly fast. Ooh, 300 damage, that's a lot to deal with. Yeah, I think 8mon here is weak to wind, which is a bit of a pain because there's not many good wind moves early on, and his speed makes it really hard to land those hits. So, my best advice is just have a lot of healing items ready, and try and build the blast gauge up. It's probably your best bet, or have a really fast Digimon to heal with. Like right now I'm going to try and heal a little bit with Renamon, since they're one of my faster Digimon. But yeah, this is the hardest part of the fight, for sure. Because 8mon here, he's just really fast for such an early game boss fight. But the good thing is that if you get hit twice, that's as many times you could be hit in a row by an enemy, by the normal attack. The only exception is enemies who have like multiple hitting attacks. But they'll never get a third turn after two. Oh, I got beat. We've got 3 of the cats in heat right now, so they're being a bit overly clingy. Which, you know, is sweet, but it's also, like, really annoying when you're trying to do something like recording, for example. Alright. Come on. This 8mon is very annoying to fight, though, like I say. I might die here, but I want to try and get some damage out, because we are just taking hits way too much and used up way too many healing items. At least Renamon has pretty good spirit, so I can do a bit of damage there. I just gotta hope that I can get a turn to heal. Otherwise Renamon's going down here. Okay, good. Yeah, I got 3 more power charges, so I do need to be a bit more, like, conservative of them after this turn. Like I said, this 8mon is a bit of a grueling battle. Not all the bosses are like this, it's just this one, I don't really have a good strategy besides if you could have some like speedy Digimon to counteract the speed of them, great, but I don't think the powerful pack's the best for speed, personally. I think if you want I think the Maniac pack is the best for speed if you want some fast Digimon, because Kumamon and Guilmon are really quick in that pack. Especially Guilmon, he's kind of a speedster. Ooh. See, my blast gauge is built up quite a lot, but I kind of want to wait. So I'm going to actually let Renamon fall here. No. Okay. Then we're going to use a life disc where we go to Hookmon. Yeah, right. So let's get Hookmon in here. We haven't really shown off much of Hookmon, to be fair, so here we are. Cute little pirate. It's very weird that a monkey becomes a pirate, but what are you gonna do? We use our one and only life disc here, and then I'm gonna switch immediately over to Greymon if we survive. We'll go for a DNA Digivolve to try and finish him off, hopefully. Good. Let's see how much this does. Oh. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yes, there you go. That'll do it. Now you have the first boss, the first leader of the game, not the first boss. We got level up on Greymon. Nothing on Monmon, but we got level up on Cubimon at least, which is good. I should also mention 8mon has a chance to drop the Wind Power 1, which is a good wind accessory. So if you get it from this fight, great. If you don't worry about it. There's plenty of opportunities to fight 8mons. You're pretty good. What's your name? I'm Green Sea. That was an honorable battle. Alright then, Green Sea, take this with you. Got the Seiyu badge and silver ticket. You will need them in the battles ahead. They're important items, so don't lose them. Thanks, Seiyu leader. Oh. Challenge Suzaku leader in South Sector next. You still have a long ways ahead, but you can do it. Good luck. You're right, and I believe this guy tells me. Use the gondola at East Station to get to South Sector. That gondola is pretty fast, so it's kind of scary. I think this is the first moment where people change what they talk about. This is fun because of the Digimon. If they're not here, it's only another online game. Wait, what was this? Apparently Miss Olivia is getting a little stewed. Megami has so much more to offer than we do. Yeah, right. So that is the first leader beat. Let's heal up and then let's leave the city. The wind is nice here. I like being here. You know. What are you? So your leader looks like a retriever. He's so cute. Alright then. Agumon, welcome to the city of winds, Seiyu City. Please take your time. Crybaby Maria. I can't find Elia. Hell, we were supposed to meet at Gale Tower. Charming Ella. I wonder where Maria is. I told her I was in Zephyr Tower. Ah, they got the towers mixed. Jeez. Did I ever... I'm sure I opened the pack, didn't I? I think I did, yeah. Okay. Let's go out exploring. Oh, I don't know if I can battle you yet. You really are good. How do you get that good? No, never mind then. I didn't know if I'd already done a Digimon. I couldn't remember if we did a Digimon battle against them or not. But alright, we beat the leader. So what's next? Oh, hello, Teddy. I do not remember the voice I gave them. Hey, Green Sea, this is big, really big. What's up? Why are you in such a hurry? Lucky Mouse appeared. What? Lucky Mouse? Don't you know he's a genius hacker? He can hack into any program. Oh, okay. I'm a big fan of his. I really want to meet him. This is an announcement to everyone playing Digimon Online. You will be undergoing emergency maintenance at this time. Because of this, you won't be able to return to the real world, but you won't be charged during this time. I repeat, everyone will be playing for free. Hey, did you hear that? I'm sure Lucky Mouse had something to do with that. Man, I can't stand it. I'm gonna go find Lucky Mouse. Hey, Teddy. And he's gone. Oh, that Teddy. He left. He's always like that when he gets excited. Alright, cool. So before we even go off to the station, there's an important thing we can go do right now. And I highly recommend you do this before going to the station. We're going to make our way back to Asuka City. It's a Betamon. So, for the thing that we're getting, you need to have, I believe it's a charisma stat of at least 210. And the charisma stat is, there's little stars on the status screen for every Digimon. I'll show you after this fight. I'll show you know what? No, I'll show you in the next fight. Ooh. Okay, for my screen is still okay. You it, she'll be. Ugh, sorry, one of the cats keeps rubbing on the cables. Just giving me a lot of grief today. Beatrice, you know. Right. But yeah, so to get the item that we're going for, you need to have, I believe it's a charisma stat of all 3 Digimon combined that adds up to at least 210. And the way that you get that stat up is through the equipment you have. So say I tag here. So the one that has the little stars right underneath speed, which is the green dash symbol, the little like green line, we're looking at the star one. So if all 3 of the rookies have that together, that adds up to over 210, which you get through equipping things, equipment, you can access a special place in Asuka City. And we want to do this because throughout the game there'll be different checkpoint moments where after you've done a certain story section, you'll be able to get a rare item for much cheaper than you could at the end of the game. But the items will only be available for a very short period of time. So basically, if you go too far into the game, you won't be able to get the item until right near the end of the game, as opposed to being able to get it as early as we can. So we're going to go back and we're going to go get our first special equipment, which we won't be able to use with the Digimon we have right now, because the equipment we're getting is, they're all specific to one Digimon. So it's always worth going back to check what, after you've done a little bit of the story, just to see where you're at. If you're worried about missing any items, there's plenty of guides online to the exact checkpoints, and I'm going to do my best to go after all of them. I might miss 1 or 2, but in general, these pieces of equipment are really good and tend to be some of the best of that Digimon, because they give really big boosts, and if you wear all of a Digimon's specific equipment together, you get a special little boost, I believe. I think it's to your charisma, which I believe also impacts the chance of you getting critical hits. So yeah, it's very worthwhile going after these items. So for this first one, we're going to need at least 800 bit, and we have exactly 899, so that's perfect for us. So what you want to do is go through the inn, go down to the bottom part of Asuka City, which is where we went at the start of the game to go to the yellow card shop, Yellow Cruiser. But this time, we're going to go into this blue shop here, when I stop ramming into gates. And this is El Dorado, which is basically a big shop for items. Yo, dog, only legit club members can pass. Guys with ugly Digimon can't enter. I should be able to enter. Why can't I come in? Excuse me. Excuse me. Hola, amigo. Welcome. This is an item maniac El Dorado. You're cool. I'll give you an El Dorado ID. Thank you, Ponchomon. Okay, only club members that are tight can enter. We're tight, so you can go in. So yeah, I forgot you have to talk to Ponchomon specifically at the counter, and he'll let you in. Yeah, let's see what these guys have to say. Megami's game used to suck, but this game on Digimon Online is great. I was really surprised. The type of weapon you could put on a Digimon varies, so it's important to know the features of each weapon. You can go to Cargo Tower from here. You can join the auction as well. So yeah, so that's our little hint to what's going on. Basically, we're going to be auctioning for these special items, but they always come to a specific amount. So as long as you come here with that amount, you'll always win the auction. And we get this funky little music too. Now's your chance. Finally, our main item. Divine Barrier, admired by all members. The Patamon exclusive shield will start at 400 bit. $500 bit. 600 bit. 700 bit. 1800. If you say no, you won't get the item, obviously. Or if you don't have enough bit for it, you won't get it either. So make sure before you come here you've got plenty of extra money. But again, I recommend you come and get these items before later in the game. And if you don't feel like you're ever going to use that Digimon, like for example, this is a shield for Patamon. And if I'm never going to use Patamon, something you can do is sell them for a lot of bit, which is great early on. I'm not going to do that because I kind of want to just have it as like a little keepsake for now. Maybe if I'm desperate for money at the end of the game I might, but I like having the elusive armor because I think it's quite cool to have for a while. And you know, I did just buy it, so it feels weird to just sell it immediately. But if you need bit and you're not bothered about that Digimon, you can just sell it for quite a bit of money. But you want to get them now because at the end of the game, they're a lot more expensive than what you would pay to buy them at the point in the game that you can get them. So right now, this is only 800 bit, but obviously if I bought it at the end of the game, it'll be something like 32,000 bit, which is a lot more than it's really worth. But yeah, so now, frustratingly, we have to now go all the way back to the other side of the East Sector, because we're going to be going to the East Station to try and find our way to the next part of the world. I do, like I say, this is my favourite game of all time. I fully acknowledge this game has its faults, and this entire next section of the game, I'd argue, is one of the most notorious parts, and probably one of the things that put people off playing the game is just the amount of backtracking this game has. And this next section in particular, I feel like it really does drag on for a while. So what I want to do here is, I'm actually going to train water tolerance, and this feels weird. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do it because I know, in hindsight, there's a boss fight coming up soon, where they're going to be using a special water technique, so I want to have at least a little bit resistance built up to it. Monmon especially really needs it, because he's very weak to water, so I'm actually going to go for the full 10 TP here. The only problem with this is it does lower your actual regular defense a little bit. But I don't want to get, like... The problem is, we can't... The other elemental weakness we'd love to have is machine tolerance, but unfortunately we can't level that one up, so... For now, I'm just going to work on the water tolerance a little bit on each of my Digimon. I'd also really recommend speed for the next part, because speed's going to really matter for the next boss fight as well, because this next boss is a massive jump in difficulty, and they're really fast, they hit really hard, and they have a lot of physical defense, so they're really difficult for so early in the game. Oh. Hold on. Sorry, I hear it. I know it's still on. There it is. You're under here, aren't you? Bee! Oh my god. Just give me a moment, sorry. Taking off my hoodie, gonna see if the cat wants it as like a pillow, so she won't keep knocking the wires. B. Okay. I tried locking him out, but the problem is the other cat, Harvey, can open the doors. So it stayed closed for about 5 minutes, then she opened it up, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm not keeping her out. Or any of them for that matter. Which I wouldn't mind if they'd just behave, because they're usually okay. They usually just sit in the room and don't bother me too much. Not today. Alright. See, I want to train defense up. I'm going to train defense up a bit on Renamon. Because I don't want Renamon to just die immediately to one attack. But I do really want to focus on their speed and spirit a bit more, so I'm only going to do 5 in defense for now. I'm okay with water tolerance at least if it's at least like 100. Like that'll do me for now. I'll train a bit more speed up as well, actually. Yeah, right. Oh no! Good. So Renamon's our fastest. Agumon's our bulkiest. And Monmon is kind of in the middle. I guess they hit harder physically, which is okay. Now, I think I already did Digimon battles, didn't I? Yeah, so if you've already done Digimon battles with any of the tamers, they won't really want to do anything with you, even card battling. So if you're trying to card battle everyone, I'd recommend not getting your charisma too high until you've done your card battles, and then when you're happy for that, get your charisma higher with better equipment so that you can then Digimon battle the tamers around the world. I cannot believe that leveled me up, that's amazing. Squeezing from the tree. I should be able to just beat Quagamon in just regular attacks now, so I don't have to waste MP. Just been watching Digimon this last week, because playing the game got me all nostalgic for the first series. So we've been me and Miguel have been watching the original Digimon series again. Still holds up so well. That's still my favourite TV show of all time, is the original Digimon season. Like Digimon Adventure, or Digimon Series 1, or Digimon Season 1 as I've always called it. But yeah. Like, I've grown up with Pokemon for years and years, and Pokemon is, you know, special to me in that way. Like, I love Pokemon. I've just been playing Pokemon as well, funny enough. I've been back into Scarlet and Violet recently, just battling online. But Digimon has that, like, special hold over me that I just can't help but love. Like, there's just something so imaginative and fun about this world, and I think Digimon's got a really bad reputation for supposedly copying Pokemon, even though they're very different when you get into them. But this game's not the best example because this game does definitely copy a lot of the Pokemon formula, but I think it plays so well, and I get so sucked into it that I'm not really bothered. In fact, I think this game does better than most Digimon games because it's so easy to pick up and play, and there's not all this convoluted plot and all this like crazy like game mechanics to keep an eye on. Like, it's simple to pick up and play. It tells a fun little story with still got some stakes. Things do get serious, but it still manages to be a fun adventure, and I think that's kind of all I need. Is just a fun adventure training up some Digimon. But yeah. We got a Kiwimon! And a Pulse Block Speed. I love that some of the Digimon in this game have attacks that represent their regular attack represents some of their special abilities. Like Kiwimon here spits out the little birdies, which is one of its attacks from the first season of the anime. Cute little details like that just go a long way. But yeah, the Digimon right now, they're not very special. Most of them just use basic attacks on us, but as you can tell for boss fights, this game definitely will pick up the pace in like difficulty. And Digimon will start doing more advanced things. Like that 8mon was really speedy, so we gotta watch out for that. So I would recommend in this game to have a good balance of Digimon. You want some that can take hits really well and some that can quickly attack. And I'd also recommend with the tech system, try to get as many different elemental attacks as you can as soon as possible, because they really come in handy, especially when you're fighting tougher Digimon that have a lot of physical defense, and you're going to need those special moves to hit them, or to hit them hard. Or if you're a physical Digimon, you want varied elemental attacks to boost your damage. Yeah. So we're here in the Kicking Forest, and we are going to go into East Station here. And as I say, in every area with new music, another banger. I absolutely love the soundtrack of this game. Alright, yeah, sure, let's do it. You know, I know, I'll decide with this. If I win the battle, I won't just go on the date. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have a card battle with this person. But, yeah, it's fine. I'm happy to just have a Digimon battle. And to be fair, I did a lot of card battling in the first part, so I'm kind of happy to just do some regular Digimon fights for a bit. If the tamers in these next areas don't want to do Digimon battles. Like, don't want to do card battles, I'm fine with that. Betamon. Yeah, if you need to know elemental weaknesses, there's also guides online that have dug into that, which has really helped me appreciate this game more, because when I was younger I didn't really understand the point of the special moves. I'd always just go for physical attacks, and I'd wonder why on some enemies I just wasn't doing any damage, or I wasn't doing much to them. And it turns out every Digimon's got their own like elemental weaknesses and strengths, and some Digimon hit harder on the physical side, and some are better with special attacks. Oh, come on. Kiwimon, you must die. Last Digimon is Red Vegemon, which we haven't seen yet. Pretty similar to Vegemon. They hit pretty hard for early game Digimon, but they have a big weakness to fire, which is good for us here. I said very hard, that was not very hard at all, but this tamer's scaled down. And to be fair, we have got pretty decent equipment on. But don't underestimate Red Vegemon, they can hit decently hard. But thankfully they don't have any special techniques, they just go for basic physical attack. Again, they're very weak to fire. as are most plant Digimon, so keep that in mind. Another good reason why you should pick the powerful pack. Ooh, and I got a power charge from the Betamon. I've decided I'm not going on my date. This had better be an enjoyable game. Alright then. Let's see what this is. Huh? Who's in charge here? Where is everyone? Beep beep. Power on. System reboot. Well, what? Oh, what? I am the operating system of Deeper Crevices Gondola. To turn on the gondola, headed towards south sector. Account registration with a blue card is required. Digimon born from a blue card possess it, therefore obtain it from those Digimon. I see, Digimon born from a blue card. I think that's Guilmon. I should go ask Guilmon in the city. Alright, and thus begins what I'd probably call the most tedious side quest in the game. That's also like a required quest, unfortunately. Anyone who's played Digimon World 2003 knows of the blue card side quest, where we're going to be basically going on a hunt through this Guilmon to give us the blue card to get us to the next part of the game. And one of the things with this game that I know a lot of people hate, and I totally understand it, is there's a lot of backtracking and there's no real fast travel options for a long time in the game. And even when there is, it's still not really very fast travel. So you will be just running back and forth between different sections of the game over and over again. And to be honest, this doesn't bother me too much, because I think in a lot of RPGs, especially older ones, you tend to travel back through older areas as you get stronger. But the problem here is they put a lot of this backtracking early on in the game, and it's not always clear where you go next. So for example here it says in the city. So you're like, okay, well the nearest city is Seiyuu City, so naturally that's where we're going to go first. But they don't always make things super obvious for you, and you just sort of got to hunt around for where you got to go next. And this game has specific triggers for the next sections of the story that sometimes are really obtuse to hit. Like there's a section in the game where you have to talk to a character twice for them to say where you have to go next. So if you only talk to them once and then leave, you might not open up that part of the story until you go back and talk to them again. But yeah, so that's something to just keep in mind with it. Alright, so Guilmon in the city. Oh look, there's no Guilmon. Typical. And no one talks about him, so great, what do we do? Well, we're not after this Guilmon, we're after the one who's in Asuka City. Now I know that's confusing, like, what do you mean Asuka City? They just said the city. Well, yeah, so this is an example of just like, it's not always clear. You just sort of gotta take a guess what they're trying to say. I think this is like probably one of the worst examples, but a lot of the game does, to be fair, point you in the right direction. Like, we know we're after Guilmon and we know we're after a city, so okay, there's not one here, so it has to be the other Guilmon. But I think they could have just put one in Seiyuu City. It's really weird, and you gotta hit those story triggers to get the Guilmon to where it needs to be as well. Like, I'm hoping, because it has been a while since I played, that me going to Seiyuu City doesn't matter for where Guilmon will be. But as far as I know, I'm just expected to go back all the way to Asuka City. So that's what we're gonna do right now. You can't, if you know where the characters are, you're not allowed to skip parts of quests like this. You have to go in the order the game wants you to go, because if you try and sequence break, the game won't let you go further, because you have to hit the certain dialogue trigger, which is a bit annoying. But to be fair, it's a linear game. It wants to tell its story. Like, I understand. But I know this part of the game threw a lot of people off. Because they didn't understand, like, oh, well, he's not in the city. Where is he? It's like, oh, right, Asuka City, okay. Like, there could be a lot more clear ways to say it. Like I say, I love this game for the gameplay and just sort of how relaxing and fun it is, but I will act like this game doesn't have a lot of weird, archaic design decisions that are kind of outdated nowadays. And there's a lot of easy fixes. They could have, like, I feel like this is a game that would benefit a lot from a modern remake, because there's so many easier little dialogue ways you could explain situations like this. But yeah. Still, it's not going to ruin the enjoyment of the game for me. We got a Kawagamon. No, of course not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my speed up a bit, because my Digimon are not hitting these weak Digimon very well. Yeah, I'm trying to get everyone, I want to try and get everyone, like, sort of around the same level. At least the evolution forms, I want to get them all. My goal is going to be about level 15 for each of them before the next boss fight, but I mean, if I could get higher, that'd be great. But for the next boss, Renamon's going to be the big damage dealer. The problem with that idea is, while Renamon can hit okay, Renamon cannot take a hit very well, so I need backup plans for this. But just for the heads up, this next boss is very weak to thunder and water techniques, so if you can get any of them, I would really recommend using a Digimon with them. And if you get any spirit attacks, that's great, and even better if on top of all of that you can also happen to have a speedy Digimon. That'll put you in a really good place. And if your Digimon has really high machine and water tolerance, then that's great, like those will help, but don't fret too much about those last two, because as long as you're generally defensive enough, you should be okay. But yeah. Now, what I want to do here, I'm actually going to switch my Digimon around, and I'm going to just do a quick little heal, little top up. Because we're going to have a little, I won't call it a boss, it's like a mini boss battle. I guess it is a boss battle. Right here, on the bridge. So I'm going to lead with Agumon. Not because he's particularly great for like damage, but I feel like he might just be a bit bulkier for what's coming up. So as soon as we go up to the bridge, we see this guy. Hey, what up, kid? Are you talking to me? Of course I mean you. You're Green Sea, who beat Sir, your leader, aren't you? Yeah, and you are? My name is Keith, and you better remember my name, kid. I'm the one that's gonna win the tournament. Oh yeah? We'll just have to wait and see. I see. Then you want to battle with me? Go for it. Sorry, but I'm not gonna pull any punches. Alright. This is a really important battle for this particular Digimon here, Triceramon. So the thing with Keith here is he also likes prehistoric Digimon. So pretty similar fight to the Seiyu leader. Thankfully he doesn't have that super speedy Apemon at least. But he does hit quite hard. But Triceramon here is a very important Digimon. And this is where if you picked the Maniac pack, you have the potential to steal a TNT ball from Triceramon here in the middle of the battle. Because Guilmon gets a move called Picking Claw at a certain level. which gives improves you. It basically, you hit an enemy and you have a chance of stealing an item from them. And Triceramons always have a chance of carrying a TNT ball on them. So the more times you use Picking Claw, the more chance you have of getting one. But you're not guaranteed to get one, that's the thing, before you finish them off. Because they only have like a certain drop rate, it just sort of improves the chance of it having that item and taking it. But if you don't have that Guilmon, just defeating Triceramon still gives you a little chance of getting the TNT ball. But you really want to get this item as soon as possible, because you're going to need it for just a little bit later in the game. I don't know how this is going to go actually, because I don't know if my Digimon are going to be able to win this fight very easily, because I didn't grab a lot of healing. I should have stopped to put healing items, really. I kind of just like recklessly ran into this fight. Okay, I'm going to switch back. I'm going to do another DNA Digivolve. Because my fire techniques aren't going to be that good. But yeah, so... if you have an ice technique, that'd be great, but it's not the easiest to come across. But Renemon's just a couple levels under being able to get the ice technique, which I guess I should have prepared for, but I believe in my Digimon. Let's keep it going. Yeah, like I said, Triceramon here is kind of the biggest threat of his Digimon. Unfortunately, it's also the first one that we have to fight, so I'm probably just going to lose these two and just rely on Renamon for the rest of the fight. Come on. Oh, yes. Thank you for your speed, Monmon. And, of course, Triceramon being a real pain here. Oh, thank you, Monmon. I know I could heal, but I'm hoping that I can beat this with just Renamon. I don't remember his... I think it's Tyrannomon? No, Coagamon. Okay, that's a bit better at least. I think. No! Alright, 170. Yeah, see, Triceramon just hits so hard, he's so bulky. But we are close to blasting at least with Renamon. So I'm hoping I could use that to my advantage. How many power charges do we have? We have 2 power charges, so we can get up to 2 heals left in this fight. Let's go for the Thunderbolt. As far as I remember, Triceramon is by far the biggest threat. But you still want to be careful with the other Digimon. I don't know why I went for a physical move there, but okay. Okay, they do about similar damage at least. How much does that do? 240, yeah, so we've got to be careful still. But I'm hoping one more Thunderbolt might be able to finish it off. Good. I believe his last one might be Cunimon, I think? Yeah. Don't underestimate this little guy, though. Like, he can still do a bit of damage, and he's quite speedy. Okay, never mind, underestimate him all you want. I don't know how his Thunder Tolerance is, or his Wisdom, but we'll find out soon enough. You know what, never mind, underestimate this guy. I thought Cunimon was bulkier in this fight. I'm thinking of a different battle. That was a bit more rough than I was hoping for. And of course, now I get the ice technique. But there you go, we beat Keith. Sadly, I did not get the TNT ball. You'll know after you get your bit, if you press X again and it'll say an item, that means you got that item. I won. Who's the man? Ah, went easy on you, kid. I thought you said you weren't pulling punches. I don't know what you're talking about. You better watch out. I'll get you next time. Don't forget me. Sayonara, sucker. Well, alright then. Whatever. He's the sucker. Yeah, right. So, I definitely need to get some healing items. That's what I'm learning here. Before I go to the inn, I want to just quickly go grab some healing items, if I can. From Smith's shop. Curious. No, he's still here. Does he let me go by yet? No, he doesn't. Okay, I think... Oh! No, maybe he does. Eldorado ID lets me go by, which is really good for us. So, we can get access to the junk shop, which... Only the selected few could come here. This is where you can get some really good equipment. But the problem is they're all going to be really pricey. So I don't really know if we're going to be able to do much with this. Yeah, see, they're all way too much. They'd give a massive boost if I could afford them. But yeah, we're not affording any of this right now. I could buy a wool cap and that's it. I don't think I've got anything worthy to sell, really. Not really, no. Armor? I mean, Divine Barrier. I mean, I could sell the Divine Barrier, but it's such a waste to sell it. You know? Like, well, it's not. Like, if I really want to upgrade my Digimon's armor, I could. But I'm not going to bother with that, because I think... Bit is only hard to come by at the start of the game. By the time I get to the mid and late game, it'll be a lot easier. The more important thing for me is the junk shop up here. I want to... The black market. So, this shop only sells one thing. Well, it sells two things. It sells power chargers, which is great, but it also sells superchargers, which are superb. So I'm going to get 2 superchargers, and we're going to stock up a bunch on power chargers. I'm going to get 28, so we end up with 30 of them. And 2 of those. And the reason I'm doing that, I know I'm going to need some life discs, but right now I want to make sure I'm nice and stocked up on healing items before anything else. But it's clear from that fight against Keith that our Digimon need a bit of work before the next point in the game. So before I start grinding up my Digimon, I need to hit the inn. Let's heal and save because I don't want to lose any of that progress. Alright. Get to enjoy this nice little moment, this little break for saving. Good. Now, what I want to do is, I believe the Guilmon is in here. There he is. I got up the ladder. Huh? Blue card, oh, the gondola thing? Sorry I don't have it, my cousin does. He said he's going to Seiyuu City, but he's hungry so he may stop somewhere to eat. He likes to nap so he may take breaks. Okay, so we go all the way here just to find out that the Guilmon that we're looking for is actually somewhere else. Now I don't know for certain who gives the hint, they just say about a break. So I don't know if it's really clear from that, but basically we have to go to Forest Inn because that's sort of like a break point between here and Seiyuu City. It's a bit of a lame explanation, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where we have to go next, is Seiyuu City. Not Seiyuu City, the Forest Inn. Before I go there, I also want to just go to the gym. Because I believe I got a level up from that last fight. Yeah, I got a level up on all 3. Okay. So I'm really worried about being outsped with Agumon in particular. So I'm going to work on his speed a moment. Alright, Guilmon. Monmon next. Yeah, I guess I'll just work on his speed as well. I was going to go defense, but I think I'm actually going to go speed here. And then we'll focus on defense on the next level with Monmon. I think Renamon wants defense, though. Nice. 200 speed, 129. So yeah, Agumon's really slow. But I'm worried about Renamon taking hits very well in this next fight. The next boss fight, so that's why I'm going to work on Renamon's defense a bit. And what I'm thinking of doing is actually, before the next boss, going to Tirana Valley and training up there, because the dinosaur Digimon there are some of the strongest we can fight in the East sector. But it also means that they give more bit than the other Digimon that we're going to fight around. And we really need money, so we can buy a couple life discs, improve our equipment just a little bit more, and just for other little basic things that'll help us out. I could also go fishing with Renamon and fight Seadramons. That's another option I have for leveling up here. But for right now, I'm just going to work through the storyline stuff until we get to the point right before the boss, and then we'll start level grinding properly from there. But I figure doing this way, at least I'm making progress in this part with any Digimon that we fight in the wild, and I'm still also sort of showing you all what to do for this next part of the game. Like, I had a bit of a rough first 2 boss fights there, because I could have grinded up a bit more before going after the Seiyuu leader and before fighting Keith, but yeah, it's not the end of the world. We got through it, just about. But as you can see with the Keith fight, you do want to be careful about that Triceramon, because he hits pretty hard for such an early game boss. And if you think that's hard, you haven't even seen the difficult bosses yet of this game. In fact, the next boss is, in my opinion, one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. So you really want to be ready for this boss fight. But yeah. But as we take care of this Koagamon here, we have just arrived near the Forest Inn. So we're going to go inside and have a look for that Guilmon. See if anyone inside happens to know where he is. So this is the rest point between Seiyuu City and Asuka City. Seiyuu City and Asuka City, yeah. That's alright. Oh look who it is. What? You're looking for blue card? I don't have it, another Guilmon has it. I think he went to Seiyuu City. Guilmon with a card went to Seiyuu City. Alright then. So now we gotta go continue on towards Seiyuu City. I keep bumping into all the trees trying to like glide around. We got a crap mom. We'll see how far we get, but my goal for this stream is, at the very least, I want to beat the next boss. If nothing else, that's sort of my minimum goal. At best, I'll get to the next big story moment, but we'll see how it goes, because I don't trust myself. We're already an hour in, and I feel like I need to do a bit of grinding before the next part of the game. Alright, I want to go in here. The Zephyr Tower. Oh look, a Guilmon. Yo, Guilmon. Notice the name, Tricky Guilmon. Blue card? I have it, you want it? Yeah, I'll give it to you. Why don't you go register your account? Heh. Well, I trust you. It's alright, we got the card, we're ready to go to the south sector now. But yeah, just as a reminder, before doing any of this side quest, make sure you go get that Divine Barrier item from the auction. Because as soon as you first go to the station, you will not be able to get this item. And you'll have to wait until the end of the game to get it. So just a heads up, as with all the auction item spots, you'll want to make sure you get them basically the second they open up, because if you don't, you've got a very big chance of missing them. I'll point them out though as we go along. Here we have a Digimon. Not as strong as Red Digimon, but he's still around. And he still has that same fire weakness. That's why I've got Agumon in the lead here. So yeah, you can tell already, Agumon and Redamon are basically our big attackers for special attacks. And Monmon is basically there to do some fast physical damage. So to be fair to the powerful pack, they do give you 3 Digimon that can hit pretty hard early on. There's just also issues with... I feel like Monmon kind of doesn't feel extraordinary compared to the other 2. Maybe that's just me, I've just never really been that big on Monmon. But yeah. Okay, now this time it should work. Beep beep, please wait, confirming data. Blue card cannot be confirmed, terminating account registration. What? Why can't I register? I have the blue card. Huh? What? This isn't the blue card. The B is an 8. This is an 8 Lu card. Hey, this is a fake. I've been tricked. Okay. So now we gotta go find that Guilmon and get our 8 Lu card swapped for a blue card. But where is that tricky Guilmon? Oh, I wonder. This does feel like a bit of padding before the next part of the game, but to be fair, it gives you the opportunity to train your Digimon up. And I don't mind that, because I think it's a good way to make sure you're ready for this next fight, because they really wanted to make sure the difficulty ramps up from this point onward. But it's weird to me, because this is, in my opinion, one of the hardest bosses in the game. I think some bosses later on in the game are way easier than this one. And I know I'm really bigging it up, so if I have an easy time with it, just take my word for it, this boss will destroy you unless you have trained your Digimon up well. And come in prepared. But yeah, so we got to go back to Seiyuu City now to try and find that tricky Guilmon. Here we go. I always find it weird that there's just a whole town inside of a mountain like this. Alright, what you gotta say, Agumon? No, you don't. Yeah, wait, Guilmon? 8 Lu card? Oh, it's a fake that Trickster Guilmon made. He just ran out of here. He's probably hiding somewhere. Ask my friend, he might know. This is what I'm talking about with the obscure dialogue. So, he says, ask my friend, he might know. So you think, oh great, I'm going to have to wander all around the world, figure out who to talk to find out where he's hiding. Talk to this Guilmon again, the exact same character you just spoke to, and he says, he likes it underground, so he's probably hiding in a basement like a place like a basement with ghosts. So right there he gives you the exact hint you need to know where he is. And if you don't, I mean, I think you can find him without talking to that Guilmon again, but I've always done that. Just make sure you talk to that Guilmon a second time, so he tells you exactly the spot where this sneaky Guilmon will be. But yeah. So if you don't know where he's talking about, well, you'll find out in a moment. There's a guide us there. Try and get as much bit as I can. Oh, I got 400, not bad. Once we find this Guilmon, though, that will end this whole sequence, and we can go on to the... We'll be ready for getting ready for the boss fight. So basically, as soon as I've done this, I'm going to start level grinding a bit, because I definitely don't think I'm high enough level yet for this boss fight. Typically, I'd recommend your Digimon have... Check your equipment, make sure you've got some really good equipment on. I'd train in Tirano Valley, or if you have a Digimon with an electric technique, you can also train against... you can train that Digimon up against the Seedramon by fishing. Cardmon are also okay to train against, although I don't find them the best XP, and I don't find them the best time-wise to fight. That's just me. So what I'm going to do is... Well, first of all, let's get this real card. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Tirano Valley, and I'm going to train there for a bit. Because I feel like all my Digimon can fight those Digimon okay. But yeah. So we come in here. We need a basement where there's ghosts. And the only basement that qualifies is where that Bakamon fan is hiding. Which is in here. If you didn't know, Bakamon is a ghost Digimon. Bakamon's so cool, I want Bakamon to be my partner. So you want to come down here. And oh, look who it is. Sneaky little hiding Guilmon. Oops, you found me. Okay, I'll give you the real blue card. Go to East Station. Hehehe. I'm just kidding, it'll work this time. Now, despite everyone's sus on whether or not it actually will work, it will work, thankfully. You do not have to do anything else now before going to the station. However, I would not recommend going straight to the station from here. I would recommend you get your Digimon trained up. Get them to a point where you feel like you can... If you're not one-shotting, at least doing really solid damage to the Digimon in Tirano Valley. That's sort of my gauge for we're good and ready to go. Or at the very least, you've got a Digimon that can do that. I know level grinding for some people is a bit of a pain. I even get a bit tired of it in certain games, and to be fair with this game, I do like to try and keep going on, so I tend to fight bosses a bit underleveled, but I really recommend for this boss fight to be at a decent level, because this is a really difficult boss. It hits hard, it's really bulky, it's really fast, which is even worse, meaning it gets multiple hits in sometimes. And machine and water are not very common types to have a good tolerance against with evolutions, so you really have to be careful of that. So yeah. So we're going to go off to Tirano Valley, do a little bit of level grinding. I figure I'm going to try and get each form to at least level 20. See how I feel from there. So that'll be Greymon, Hookmon, and Cubimon. I'm going to get them up to level 20 and see where we are, what I feel from there. The good thing is, we're already at 13 with Greymon, and we're already at 15 with Cubimon, so not bad. I might even decide to 25 maybe, just for that bit of extra security, and also I want to make sure I get plenty of bit for the next part. Like right now we've only just got 500, and I'm going to need at least 1,000 bit minimum, so I can buy 2 life discs, because I feel like I'm really going to need them. But I do also want to try and plan ahead a little bit for this fight. So I want to get some extra bit for just some items that might help out a bit for this fight. Because despite worry about, oh god, what if my Digimon aren't strong enough? The good thing is, you are in control of your stats. Like I say, you do have options from the gym. You've also got equipment with all of your armor and your weapons that you can equip, which, while they are limited at the minute, there are decent options. If you really want to grind out a lot of money, you could potentially get things from the heavy armory, which would be great. I wouldn't recommend going that excessive, but I mean, if you can get that armor or those weapons, that'd be great. Like, you'd be in a really big advantage. But the Digimon in this first part of the game don't give a lot of bit, so you will be doing a long level grinding session if you go that way about it. What I'd recommend instead, and I'm going to show this off when I get enough bit built up, is we haven't yet spoke to Gomamon, who runs the accessory shop. And basically, as I've shown you with the water power, accessories are really powerful in this game because they give little boosts either to your critical hit ratio or the damage you deal, or they give special other little bonuses. And you can get these rings that boost different defenses and stats up. And what I'm going to do is I want to try and get a machine ring for each Digimon to reduce the amount that the physical attack is doing. Or at the very least, I want to get one for Renamon, because Renamon is going to take the most damage, but Renamon's also going to be the one who can do the most damage in this fight. So my plan is basically I'm going to try and get 3 machine rings to reduce some of the damage. You could also get a water ring, because the reason I trained up water tolerance earlier on is because the Digimon we're going to fight can use a water attack as well as a machine attack. So if you're weak to water but you have good machine tolerance, you might still take a lot of damage from that. So it's just something to watch out for. Yeah, so this is basically going to be what we're doing for the next sort of 20 or so minutes. Strap in everyone for a little grinding session. But it's necessary because, like I said, I don't want to hit a brick wall with this boss fight. I want to just like keep a move on. So tedious as it is, this will be one of those parts where I just have to do a lot of leveling up here. There is also the chance if I bump into any Triceramon, I could go for the TNT ball, so it's another thing. I'm gonna actually go up here, just because there's a bit more room to run around. I'll also show this off over here. So I haven't spoken to these guys yet, but these are DRI agents. So this guy's researching Agumon. Now, the Digimon that we currently have are what the pack gave us. However, these agents here give you an opportunity to get brand new, to get access to the other rookies, which is really cool because it means you can customize which Digimon you want on your team with, even if you picked a pack that didn't have that Digimon. So say I wanted Patamon, but this pack doesn't have Patamon. If I find the agent that wants, that can give me Patamon, I can talk to him. And the way it works for getting partner Digimon in this game is if you happen to have a high enough combined level of your Digimon to their requirements, which there's guides online that'll tell you. Usually it's about like level 30 or above, with some exceptions. They'll talk to you and say about a boss battle you can do. They'll basically talk about like an ultimate, getting some DNA from them. And if you defeat that Digimon in a boss battle, you can then gain access to the rookie form of that Digimon. So, for example, you'd have to fight a Magnarangemon, which is the ultimate form of Patamon. And then you'd be able to get Patamon as a partner. The only thing with partners in this game is they start at level 1. So if you decide to recruit a new Digimon in the game, I'd recommend doing it in the earlier part of the story, if you've decided which Digimon you want to use. And I would recommend also... I wouldn't recommend just leaving one of your Digimon untrained, even if you're not going to use them all the way, because I figure the stronger your Digimon is at the start of the game, the more options you've got for healing and damage dealing, until you eventually might want to swap them out. But yeah. So you do have an option for that, and there is also a secret rookie you can gain access to, but it only unlocks right after you beat the 3rd leader. And you can unlock it any time after you beat the 3rd leader, but it has very specific requirements behind it, which I won't be talking about until that point. But yeah, so keep that in mind for in the future. But I am going to show off each of the rookie boss battles because not only is it free XP, but I like having all of the rookies. I think it's a really cool feature that you can actually use any of the Digimon in the game. I do have a thought about whether or not I'd want to replace anyone in my team, but we'll see how it goes at the minute. I haven't decided completely yet, but there is a Digimon that I really like which isn't in this pack, and I have debated swapping one of our Digimon with it. But it won't be for a little bit, because the other requirement, alongside obviously needing to have the levels of your Digimon high enough to fight the boss fight, is you also need access to the place where the boss Digimon actually is. So if the Digimon, for example, was somewhere over the, like, underwater somewhere, you'd need a way to travel underwater, or if it's somewhere you haven't gone to yet, then you need to have access to that place. But yeah. But as you can see here, Tyrannomon gives 60 bits, which is really nice. So we're quickly building up money, we're getting level ups as well after each fight, and honestly, we're not even doing that bad damage against them with Agumon. And this is just Agumon. Like, Renamon and Monmon should have an easier time, because they do hit a little bit harder. But yeah. So because we have Agumon, we can't recruit another Agumon. Like, this guy, I'll just say, you got a great Agumon, so yeah. The ones who have the rookies that you already have are basically just useless NPCs in this. So in this case, the one with Agumon, Monmon, and Renamon won't ever give us anything. But the other ones are worth talking to. But yeah. I do also want to try, hopefully, do this as, like, I want to try to get the levels as quick as possible. I'm going to go to 20 and I'll see what I feel at that point, how we're doing, but so far we're not doing bad against these Triceramon. Getting some decent damage off on them. I'm not convinced, but certain sections of the game, as far as I know, have fixed encounters, so I'm not sure about Toronto Valley if there's something here. I believe it's always the same 3 Digimon that just randomly show up. But I know in a later area of the game, there's certain rooms where only 1 Digimon will show up in there, as opposed to the usual Digimon in the world. So, unfortunately, it is kind of just down to luck whether or not we bump into Triceramons, because that's the one we want to be fighting. The Tyrannomons and Airdramons don't really do anything for us, they're just here as Digimon. I'm not completely certain. I want to say Tyrannomon might have a chance of dropping a firepower, but I'm not completely sure on that. Typically, Triceramon's the one that everyone's bothered about because it gives you the big item that we're after, the TNT ball. And I don't think Airdramon drops anything. I think Airdramon's also the weakest Digimon here, so he's kind of the one you don't want to bump into. But he's also annoying because he's the fastest, so he can be a bit more tedious to fight than the other 2. But yeah. Should also mention, obviously we've been watching for a little bit, but if you're after random encounters in an area, you can just run around in circles or run into a wall repeatedly and you will eventually find them. So. This is good though, we're beating Triceramon in just 2 hits, and that's really good for us. Still no TNT ball, but at least we're beating it in a pretty good speed. I think I want to level up Agumon in attack for now, because we already have the water power on him, so that'll hit the next boss moderately hard, considering he's got pretty good physical defense. But really, the next boss fight is all about Renamon. Oh, B. Calm down. But 2 hits is a good mark for how we're doing, because these dinosaur Digimon have a lot of defense, to be fair. Yeah. If you're wondering as well why I'm not using my flame ball technique, or the new triple fire I unlocked, basically the dinosaur Digimon here have really high fire tolerance. so it's not really worth going for my techniques on them. But I definitely will show off triple fire, because this simple little move here is one of my favourite early game techniques, and really shows off how strong multi-hitting moves can be in this game. Because obviously Digimon have a chance to evade attacks, but moves that hit multiple times could help you get past that. Because even if one hit's blocked, the other two might not be. And a fire technique being able to hit multiple times can do a lot to any Digimon that's weak to grass. So there's a lot of potential. Like I say, Agumon I really like because of his early access to triple fire. That's kind of my reason why I like picking him. But also, I think he gets access to an amazing ultimate form earlier than any other Digimon does. But the problem is we need its dark tolerance quite high in order to get that Digimon. And we need Greymon to level 50, I believe, with that high dark tolerance. And that's easier said than done, because dark tolerance is a stat that takes a bit before we can trade it up. So there's only certain ways to boost it up right now. I think right now the best way would be just getting the equipment. Any little equipment that boosts dark tolerance. Yeah. Nope. That's fine. How much bitter we got? 1,200. We're doing alright for money, at least. Also, you'll notice I'm really not taking too much damage from these guys, because of Agumon's great fire tolerance. It's already come in handy. You know what? I'm gonna jump down here. Sure. Let's fight down. Let's fight in this area. It's different. I used to always think this area was you could only bump into Airdramon, but as far as I know, that's not true. Yeah, no, see, that's not true at all. I am starting to get low health, so I think once I get low enough, I'll switch to a different Digimon for battling. But Agumon's doing a great job. And that water tolerance is really, power that we got earlier is really helping us out early on. Because not many Digimon resist water at the start. Ooh, we got Growlmon. New Digivolution form. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry, cat was all over the cables, I had to watch out for that. See, I'm torn because it's great that we've got a new evolution for Agumon, but right now I'm kind of not bothered about training up Greymon, so... But the evolution we got does have really good speed, at the very least. So I'm going to leave Agumon for now, in the back. We're going to start training up Monmon next, because I do think Monmon's kind of lagging behind compared to the others in levels. Even if he himself is fine, like his form Hookmon hasn't really been getting much attention recently. I should also mention the Digimon we just got, Growlmon. He takes a while to learn it, I think it's at 25. But he does get access to a thieving move in Picking Claw, which will become very important in the next section in the game when we start to fight more Digimon that are holding items in battle. It can also help against Triceramon here, but like I say, you need quite a decent level on him to get that move, so I'm not going to be over-reliant on it. I might work a bit on training up Agumon in a bit, but right now I just kind of want to work on getting my other two leveled up, so they're kind of in equal with it. We're not going to be using Greymon's techniques though for the next boss fight, because fire is one of the elements that he resists. Oh my god. Got a lucky crit. Nice job, Pokemon. Ah, we got the TNT ball. Heyo. Honestly, okay, well, I was actually going to run back and go save, because TNT ball is a huge drop to get. But yeah. Get in there, Pokemon. There's definitely a crit there. Pokemon proving its worth here. We got Bug Buster. So I haven't really been talking much about Hokumon's techniques. So as we make our way back to Sayu just to save, we've got two techniques on Hokumon right now. We've got Wing Buster and Bug Buster, which they're definitely not bad moves. They basically do extra damage. They're like type advantage attacks, where they do extra damage to specific Digimon. So Bug Buster obviously does really well against insectoid Digimon, like anything that's like insect related, like Dokugumon, for example, the big spider. Whereas Wing Buster does really well against bird Digimon. It's specifically bird Digimon though, and that's kind of the problem with the techniques, is they're very specific on the category, and sometimes that affects their usefulness. Like, Wing Buster would be way more useful if it was strong against any winged Digimon, but it's specifically bird Digimon, not like flying ones. And the other thing about it is, right now it's a single hitting move. There is a way to make it a multi-hitting move, which will help, but it's not until much later in the game that we'll be able to do that. But yeah. But this is the thing I don't like about these techniques, is you kind of have to land them to get the most out of them. Later in the game, they're pretty decent, but right now, they're kind of just not really. But you get better ones as you level up. Like, I think Bug Buster is actually not bad, because I think there are actually a decent amount of insect Digimon compared to bird Digimon early in the game. But yeah. Ooh. I do want to hit the inn as well on here, and I want to get 2 life discs, because we don't have enough for them. But look at that, 1,500 bit. Like, Tirano Valley is just the place to get bit right now. So, we want to talk to Wizardmon. Oh, jeez. Eee! Get off the wires! Make sure that's all okay. Right, we want 2 life discs. Let's get them. We have 2 life discs. I think we're good on regular healing items. There's nothing really here I want to go over. Like, the fields here basically boost damage of those elemental attacks while that field is up. And while I could get a thunder field to boost electric damage, I just don't think it's very valuable. Also, apologies if the sound just suddenly shifted a bit. One of the cats' bee just rubbed up into it and kind of messed up the audio a little bit. I'm hoping it isn't too bad or too noticeable. But yeah. I think everyone's equipped though with the best stuff from here. So what I want to do instead is I'm going to go save, and then I'm just going to take a quick break before I come back. So while I save here, just going to take a little, just a couple minute break before I continue with the grinding session. Oh, I'm back. Let's continue the grinding session. So, I've got 400 bit right now, which is okay, but I'm going to need a lot more bit for what I want to do. So, I'm going to keep training in Toronto Valley. So, I'll try to make, if I can, try to do a little bit of grinding off screen where I can, but this part I just kind of have to. Like this part, I'm not exaggerating when I say this boss I really do want to be ready for, because if you underestimate this boss, you will get a game over here. And a game over will put you back to your previous save file, and I don't want to do that. Come on, hook one. This is a Kiwimon. You can beat a Kiwimon. See, the annoying thing is, Seiyu City doesn't have a Gomamon, so if I want to get the accessory, I'm going to have to go all the way back to Asuka City, get the accessory, and then go all the way back to here. But I think I'm going to do that when I get the bit for it, because it's going to really help if I can get the accessories. I think I'm going to need about 2,000 bit, give or take, for it, because I think they're... I want to say they're like... I've got 500 bit right now, and I believe the ring is like 700 bit each. And I want to get it for all three of my Digimon, just to help boost their defense up a bit for this next fight. But yeah. Go, Hookmon! So yeah, once I hit level 20 with all three Digimon, I'm going to start making my way back to Asuka City, get the accessory, and then I'll make my way to Seiyu, save at Seiyu, and then we'll do the boss fight. I think that's a fair way to do this. So I'm not spending too long on stream leveling up, but I'm still spending enough time where it's beneficial. Because like I say, I do need to level up. I can't just like run through this part of the game without doing any leveling up, because it's gonna cause major problems. And the good thing is I'm also getting a couple levels on the rookies, so I'm also going to be able to I'm going to also be able to get the rookies some of their stats trade up at the gym. So I really am just trying to like optimize as much as I can for this part of the game. And I understand it's annoying that, oh, you have to level grind so much at the start of the game. It's like, yeah, but to be fair, by the time you get later in the game, I think the level grinding significantly cuts down by the second half of the game, because you already have such powerful Digimon, you don't really need to grind. Most of the stuff for the second half of the game is just elemental weaknesses and using the right Digimon at the right time. But yeah. Oh my god, we got another one. Yeah. That's so good. We got 2 TNT balls. B. Oh my goodness. Nothing like playing a game in the dark with cats running around wires and whining at you. There's nothing wrong with her either. Well, you know, she's in heat, but like, she's screaming like I'm doing something wrong, and all I'm doing is trying to pet her when she keeps coming up to me. It's calming down. But if I ignore her, she keeps rubbing up to the cables, so I can't win. I wouldn't mind, but... Oh, I was just going to say, but the other cats have left me alone. Ian's just come through the door. He's one of the bigger cats. Yeah, we've got 5 cats here. We've got the little baby bee. Who's been constantly around me all stream. We've got Big Ian here. Hello, Ian. Very soft cat. We've got little Gary. We've got Gary, who's Big Ian's bigger brother. Well, I think they're the same age actually. And then we've got Luna, who's like a little sassy cat. She's cute, but she's got a bit of attitude. And then there's little baby Harvey, who's one of the youngest ones. Yeah, busy house of cats. But yeah. Come on. At least I got the TNT ball early on as well, so I don't have to worry about that. But, yeah. Like I said, it'll be a lot quicker once I get to Renamon, because Renamon can defeat these dinosaur Digimon very quickly with the ice move I just got. It's just a matter of Hookmon getting through them right now. That's sort of going to take a bit. Because he only has his regular attack I can really use, because none of these Digimon are birds, none of them are insects, so that's kind of it for his techniques. But yeah. I guess the thought I have, though, with my group is I feel like I should stick with them, because, you know, this is the pack. Like, they're a trio. Like, we've got them. We should stick with them for the rest of the game. But I do like some of the other rookies as well. The problem is, because they start at level 1, it would mean I'd have to level up constantly through the game, like each of a different Digimon, and I don't think that's very interesting for a video format. So what I'm tempted to do is fight all the boss Digimon to show them off that you get the rookies, and then just stick with this party for the rest of the game. But at least I've shown how you can get the other rookies, and then we can. I mean, to be fair, every Digimon in the game gains access to the same pool of evolutions. So, for example, if I wanted Angemon on Monmon, you can get it. It's just that each Digimon has a different pathway towards that evolution, and some are easier to get than others. Like, Patamon gets Angemon at level 5, but Monmon might have to level up, say, his ultimate form up to a level with a certain other stat leveled up, because it's not just a matter of leveling up their evolution, you also need the right stats leveled up. So Agumon, for example, needs Dark Tolerance up a certain amount, as well as Greymon at level 50, and until you have that Dark Tolerance, you won't get that form. But the nice thing is, once you have the stat needed for the evolution, as soon as that Digimon levels up again, or you gain XP with that Digimon, you will unlock the evolution, so you never have to worry about missing out on forms. It's just a matter of how soon you want them, to how much you need to work on that stat. But each Digimon has certain access to forms. So part of the reason why I'm not very big on Monmon compared to Renamon and Agumon is I feel like Renamon and Agumon get a lot of different varied forms early in the game that are all pretty useful or have interesting pathways, whereas Monmon takes a while to learn a really interesting evolution pathway. He basically just gets Hookmon and I think one other Digimon until level 20 when he gets his ultimate form. Whereas Agumon and Renamon can get 2 or 3 different forms while you're leveling up their first form, and then those forms have their own evolutions you can get by leveling those forms up. So it all comes down to like which way you want to train your Digimon, to which forms you want to level up. And each form has different strengths and weaknesses in the stats. So for example, Cubimon is a speedy special attacker, so it hits really hard with the spirit attacks. But its physical attacks don't do as much, whereas another Digimon it might unlock in its pathway might do more physical damage, but less special attacks. But it might unlock useful special techniques that you want to use later in the game. So a lot of this game is sort of balancing out which Digimon you're training up when. Like right now, I'm just training up in general right now, but I know with Agumon, I'm probably going to train Growlmon up next, because since I don't need Greymon's fire technique for the next boss fight, I figure it makes more sense for me to start working on the next evolution to get some levels up there, because I want Growlmon to get to 25 for the picking claw technique as soon as possible, so I can steal items from really important Digimon later on. Like if you look here, for example, Greymon has a much higher spirit and wisdom and higher defenses, but Growlmon has way more attack and speed. You'll also notice that Growlmon has more machine defense, but he has less water defense than Greymon has. But Greymon has more fire defense than Growlmon does. So it's always important to just check the stats for boss fights and situations. So in my case, metal tolerance is more important to me than water tolerance for the next fight. Yeah, so Renamon is doing alright, though I am a bit worried about how we'll do with machine tolerance in the boss fight coming up. Monmon has to worry more about the water tolerance. But yeah. But part of what I love about this game so much is every playthrough I've done, I've ended up with very different Digimon and very different form pathways I've gone. Like, you'll start off pretty linear, but then you'll sort of find which ways you want to go with your Digimon. And while there are a couple forms that lead to dead ends that don't have any other evolutions to them, they either get really powerful techniques to make up for that, they can DNA Digivolve with other Digimon to make up for it, for some strong in-battle attacks, or they... I'm getting a lot of TNT balls, wow. Or they get a really good... they get a really good technique, DNA Digivolve, or they can load the technique really early on. So, even though I wouldn't recommend training up every form, I'd recommend looking up which pathway you want to go, like, going from there. Or just experimenting. I don't think there's anything wrong at all with just trying different forms out and seeing which ones click with how you play the game. Like, for me, for example, I tend to emphasize physical attackers more and going for, like, speedy physical attacks. But I like to have multi-hitting or really powerful special attacks as an option on certain Digimon. So, for example, I like Agumon to have powerful multi-hitting fire attacks as early on as possible, and I like when I can use them techniques on the other forms. But I also want to get Picking Claw as early as possible for the stealing potential that I get, so I'll still emphasize that as well. But yeah, it's one of the things I really love about this game, is just that customizability of the Digimon. And if you're ever bored of one pack, how that plays, you can always try a different one. Like, that's what's cool about the start of the game, is there's no wrong pack to pick. They all have big strengths and weaknesses to go for. And despite the fact that the first pack's called the Balance Pack, it's more just because it gives you a little bit of everything the game has to offer. From, like, physical attacks to healing techniques to special attacks. But it's by no means the best definitive pack, because the powerful pack here, as you can see, we could deal massive damage to Digimon much earlier on than some of the other two packs could do, with all three Digimon. And the Maniac pack has potential for some really powerful techniques early on, and has a lot of potential, depending on how you train the Digimon, to do some really fun things. In fact, the way I've always seen the Maniac pack is it's a very supportive pack, because Guilmon gets a lot of techniques that give attack and defense boosts, as well as stealing items. And he's a decent speedy attacker on the physical side. Kumamon could do a bit of everything. He could be a really good physical attacker, he can tank hits really well, and if you focus on his Spirit of Wisdom, you can really make him a... He goes from the worst special attacker to a pretty solid special attacker with all the forms that he unlocks. You know, I want to test Wing Buster against this. And Patamon may start weak, but you get some really amazing healing techniques going forward. Oh, that was good. Alright. I think it's 5 more levels to go on Mon. Like I said, Munmon's kind of going to be the longest one to train up here because, well, he just only has his physical attack to rely on, which isn't always the best right now. Later on in the game, physical attacks will overtake special attacks, but in my opinion, early on, special attacks are a lot more devastating because you just don't have the stats and the moves yet to make physical attacks as powerful as they can be. But there's a lot of really useful items and equipment and ways to make your attack stat just insanely good. Like, I'd say in the mid game is where physical attacks start to overtake special attacks. But for now, it's good to have a bit of a mix of the two. But yeah. Ooh, a one-shot Tyrannomon. This is good progress. Like I said, I'm probably being excessive here, training up so badly, but I feel like I just need it. I need the levels. But to be fair, I also need the bit for items I'm after. Like, we're at 1,300 bit, which is good. Come on. Found as a Digimon, found as a Digimon, found as a Digimon, found as a Digimon. Yeah. It's also great that I got the, I got what I needed early on, the TNT balls, because it just saves me time later on. Oh, we one-shot Airdramon as well. I'm liking how Hookmon's suddenly one-shotting enemies. I need to see if we could do that to Triceramon next. I'm not worried about Renamon because I know Ice is strong against Dinosaur Digimon in general in this game. Like, there are exceptions, of course, to the rules with the elemental weaknesses, but if you overall think of it in, like, a type matchup way, it helps you out with a lot of the boss fights in the game. Let's see how you do. Go, Monmon! Shoot! Nope, we still take 2 hits to kill. But he's getting stronger. I'm actually debating going for attack on Monmon, just so we could get some more power. Early on, that would be nice. But I do still need to watch the speed as well. The problem as well, though, is now we're starting to not get level ups every time we fight an enemy. Because Munmon's starting to get to where Tyranno Valley Digimon are a bit too weak for him. Which is good. That's actually great for us because it means that we're looking good for the next boss fight with Munmon. I think... Oh my god. I think Agumon might be okay as well, to be fair. And his new form, Growlmon, I'm going to use because it has really good speed over Greymon, which... Yeah, Greymon's a bit bulkier, but Greymon also doesn't take machine attacks as well. So he actually ends up not as bulky in the long run, despite the higher defense stat. Because tolerances make a massive change in how much damage Digimon take. And that speed is really important for us because we don't want to be attacked twice in a row too much. Yeah. Come on. Ooh, we're getting more crits. That's good. Good job, Monmon. Nope. Well, sure, I'll take it, and I'll take the extra level up. Why not? I'm hoping this is the last battle for Munmon, so we can get on with training Renamon next. I don't remember if Munmon gets a form at level 20 when he's Hookmon. I know Renamon does, but I don't remember about... Well, not Renamon, but like Cubimon does. I don't remember if Hookmon does. Because the other thing as well is every Digimon also gets a new level up when they hit a certain level milestone. So at level 5 we get our first champion form. At level 20 we get that Digimon's native rookie form. Ultimate form rather. So Hookmon here will get Armormon. And for when they hit level 40 they unlock their Mega of their primary Digimon. So Munmon here gets Cannondramon, which is cool. So yeah, it's always worth looking at that too, because unlocking those Mega forms especially on Oh, he gets XPmon, okay. Unlocking those forms on the Digimon isn't always... That native Digimon isn't always worth it. Because sometimes you lock it faster on... What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say... So for example, Angemon is easier to get on Patamon than it is on a different Digimon. Because you get it so early on. And Magna Angemon, you need like level 99 or something like that to get... Or level 40 to get Angemon into Magna Angemon. Which is a lot of grinding. But yeah. But with that, we got XPmon on Munmon, who unfortunately is kind of a weak first new form for Munmon to get. Because while XPmon has some decent special attacks, so it would be good on like Cubimon, it's really not good on Digimon like Munmon, who relies on physical attacks so much. But yeah. I also don't want to lose the blast gauge, so I want to make sure that I get to the boss fight this part to make use of Renamon's blast gauge here. Because it's actually almost filled up. Nope, that's fine, let's keep going. So I am going to keep using Hookmon with Munmon. I'm going to use Growlmon with Agumon. And we'll have a look. I think I'm probably going to keep with Renamon's as well, though, because I quite like Renamon's special attack with Cubimon. Despite the low defenses, I think having at least one Digimon that can do big damage will help us out a lot for this next fight. But yeah. I'm going to say it's probably going to take... Probably 8 more fights, give or take, to get to level 20. Maybe 5. No, 8 or 9 more fights to get to level 20 on Renamon. Yeah, on Cubimon's form, rather. But yeah. I also don't know if you can bump into Digimon on the first step down there, so that's why I'm fighting up here instead. And I'm just not running in circles, because if I run in circles, I feel like it's a bit more disorientating to look at. Yeah. But while we're here, I should also mention that I know this game, you know, it's all pixelated and everything because it's a PlayStation 1 game. I think this game has really good 3D models. I feel like the Digimon are really alive when they fight, and like the way they move and like attack. I don't know, they feel very true to that Digimon. Like they have a lot of personality to them, and like I think the battle sprites that they made for them are great. I really love the overworld sprites of the rookies in particular. I think the overworld in general looks so nice to this day because it has that really cute chibi style animation, graphic style to it, and I really like it. Whereas I think the 3D battles, they feel exciting, but I really like the look of the Digimon. Like they all look like the Digimon, and they're all animated and like have cool little attack animations for each of them. And you get quite a lot of forms, and each form can later on unlock their special technique. So Cubimon, for example, at level 60 learns Dragon Wheel, which is the special technique it has that only it learns. So if you ever wonder if it's worth training a Digimon up like all the way to 99, it is if they unlock a new evolution, or it is if that's how you get their ultimate technique, but you don't have to train any Digimon up to 99, like any evolution form. I have done it before. I used to do it because when I was a teenager, because I thought that would be how you get your Digimon the strongest moves, but your Digimon only learns so many moves, like leveling up on that form, so sometimes it's better to just move on and use a different form. Like Cubimon here, it will learn some stronger Ice and Thunder moves at high levels, but it'll learn those moves much earlier on, and even stronger ones when it becomes Taomon in its ultimate form. So it's not always worth training up Cubimon so far when I can get those moves later on. But it is if, you know, you get that early on the form and you're not going to get the other form for ages. So it's a bit of a give or take situation. But again, that's one of the things I love about this game, is there's so much creative freedom to how you want to train up your Digimon. And I know, like, oh, I'm talking all this stuff while I'm just running into a wall fighting a bunch of random wild Digimon, but this is also just how I like to play the game. I like to have a bit of time to just train up my Digimon, take a break from the story, work on leveling up the forms a bit. I click the wrong move, that's fine. And just build up my Digimon for big boss battles that I know are coming up. Because the way I used to play the game was I would just run one area to the next, to the next, to the next, and it would just get me killed, and I'd get stuck on boss fights for ages because I couldn't beat them. I had to just use the blast gauge, basically, to get through these tough battles because I didn't understand there was an elemental system, and I didn't understand how to best use my Digimon. Like Renamon here, for example, is all about special attacks, but those special attacks hit hard if you can match up the elemental weaknesses correctly. That's why I'm putting so much emphasis on making sure Renamon in particular gets training here. But I did want to make sure all three of them are at least semi-similar. Munmon obviously gets a much higher XP rate than Renamon and Agumon do, so that's why Munmon's a higher level as a rookie, even if his actual champion form is the same as Agumon's is. It's just that Agumon's actual level up rate is way slower for the rookie form. But yeah. Nice. Good job, Renamon. See, I could just start going now, but I want to just make sure I have that. I'm at the same point with all three Digimon before I continue, before I go back to Suka City. Like, I know I'll be fighting Digimon. In fact, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go back. I'm going to go to Divamon Lake, specifically. If I haven't got Renamon to level 20 by the time I get to Divamon Lake. Because I could at least fight Seedramon there. And I've already got a TNT ball, so I don't really have a reason to stay at Toronto Valley now. Besides the bit, which, you know what? We've got more than enough for what I need. But it goes to show, like, just a little bit of time spent grinding in this game is, like, insanely rewarding. Because not only do I feel more prepared for the next boss fight, I feel like my Digimon could do a lot more and have more options. So I feel like I could probably go now and fight the boss, but I still want to do some extra little preparation before that to make sure we're good and ready enough for me to be happy with it. But yeah. So I am going to go back to Asuka City because I want to go get some accessories before we continue. And then I'm going to go to... I'm going to make my way back to Seiryu City. And by the time we get to Seiryu, I'll heal, I'll save up, make sure we're all stocked up and good on healing items and everything. See if I've got any extra bit after all this. Probably not, but we'll see. And then I'm going to fight the boss. And see how he goes. Because like I say, we haven't made much progress in the story on this part. We've basically just about wrapped up the east sector. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to fight... Tell you what, where's the fishing area? Let's do a little fishing. This should hopefully get me the level up that I need. Yes, the Seedramon. Oh, okay, that's a bit more of a worry. Divamon is a pretty powerful ultimate to bump into, and they like to run away, so I do need to be careful here. Hopefully he runs away, or hopefully I do enough to him. Divamon hit very hard, despite how much I did to him, so you want to watch out for this Digimon. He does give good XP though, if you manage to beat him. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was hoping it would do a bit less than that. But you know what, it's fine. We've got other Digimon, we have other plans for this fight. I get my revenge here. To be fair, Taomon is kind of not that good anyway as a blast Digimon, because Taomon's special technique is a physical attack that does a lot of damage to ghoul-style Digimon, which we are not fighting. So yeah, not really the best blast form to go after here. Look at this. Fleeing? You're not fleeing. Get back here. Like, it's cool we get the special technique, but why, oh why did they make Daomon, a special attacking Digimon, have a special technique that is physical? It's just so weird. Please don't flee. Don't flee. Don't flee! Oh, what a waste of time that was. Which is unfortunate because Divamon give great XP if you can beat them. Oh, I landed on the blue. Try again. Nah, that was the yellow. I call foul on that. I want to... Okay, I guess Divamon are now in this lake instead of Seadramon. Which is weird. It's supposed to be Seadramon I'm fighting here, but I guess the Divamon take over now at this point in the game. Which, okay, fair enough. Can give us good XP if we kill it, but it's only if we can kill it, because like I say, that's not that much, and it does a lot to us. Like I said, 560, that's a lot of damage that we take there. It's not even worth fighting that rate. I was hoping for a crit, that is not a crit. Come on, hit again. Trying to flee. What are you doing? Oh my god. Fine. Alright, fine, we'll just fight regular Digimon. This Divamon Lake has to, of course, now be picky about the Digimon that I'm fighting, because it's normally Seadramon. I'm surprised it changed already to Divamon, because usually it's not. I don't know if... I know certain points of the game, the Digimon encounters change in older areas, for some sections of older areas, but I shouldn't yet be at the point where that happens. I do think, though, it should only be Divamon Lake that has that. I think if I fish anywhere else, it should just be fighting Seadramons as normal, which I want to fight because they give some decent XP and have a chance of dropping that water power that we got on the last part, which is what Agumon's holding. And I'd love one of them for Hookmon as well. No, we got a power charge though, that's good. Alright. Yeah, Divamon just is a really strong Digimon to bump into so early on. And it'd be fine if my electric attack did more to it. But he does not. But alright, fine. If I get to level 20 before I even get to a fishing spot, then fair enough. I'll just continue onward with Agumon. But yeah. I believe, unless I'm mistaken, I think Tyrannomon has a chance of dropping a firepower one. I might be wrong about that one though. I know 8mon can give you wind power one. I just don't remember where some of the other ones are. Wait, what? No, hold on. I'm going to use up a power charge because now I'm not trusting it. 31. There we go. Let's fight a Digimon in the wild. I did not hit it at that time. Almost. But it's fine, as long as it beats. Oh, Sealamon. That's a different one. Sealamon can be scary because they have some decent physical damage, but they are weak to thunder all the same. So they're not too bad to fight. About on par with Seadramon. No, I think Seadramon is a little bit stronger. Hey, Cubemon's level 20. We unlock Stingmon as well as a new form. And Renamon hit level 12. Which is perfect. Now, I will want to train up... I do want to train up Stingmon. But not just yet. I want to train Stingmon up after we've done this boss fight, where I'm going to really want Renamon's thunder techniques. So, for right now, we're going to keep Renamon as Cubimon for battles. But it's cool that we've all got a new evolution, at the very least. And where I'm not going to use Monmons at all, because I don't think XVmon's a very good form to have early on. I actually think that Stingmon's pretty decent for Renamon in particular. But I'll show that out. I'll show it off in the long run. For now though, I want to go to the gym and train up some stats. Because I'm going to need some training here. I'm going to go... Honestly, I'm tempted to do all 10. I'm going to do all 10 on speed. Let's put it all in speed and hope for the best. Because we get a massive boost here. Nah, we're not going to get it, are we? Come on, give us a... No, Agumon, you wasted all my bit. Ugh. That's why I don't tend to like doing 10. But I mean, we got 20, so that's not awful. Not great, though, either. Okay. Who do I want to train up against? Much technique. Honestly, I think a bit of defense would do us nicely. I'm going to do 5 defense, 5 speed, and 5 attack. See, meanwhile, Monmon just gets it perfect first time. Of course he does. We'll do 5 speed and 5 attack. Might actually get to 300 attack. Speed though, not as much. Well, we got 230, that's better than nothing. And let's go attack. Good. Yep, we're hitting at least 400. 300 rather. 319, that is nice. Yeah, he's all set. I want to do speed, but I really like the spirit as well. I'm going to do spirit. I'm going to just go all in on that spirit. I know I was going to go defense, but I really want Renamon to hit as hard as we can. 2. Oh. Alright, well, 240 is still very good. Honestly, I might even give the water tolerance to Hookmon. We'll see. Right now, though, I want to go heals. I want to go heal. Buy some items. How much do we got? 2,300. That's pretty good. So I want to get some accessories for each of my Digimon. Just, you know, just customize them a bit, help them just a bit with their stats and everything. But I want to do the inn first, so I tend to, before I buy items, I like to heal at the inn first, just to make sure I use up the bit for my healing. To be fair, I didn't take too... I know it was like maybe just under an hour of level grinding, but I think it was worth it. So we have Gomamon here. Let's start to Gomamon. This is the pawn shop. Let's get some accessories. Because there are some really good accessories we want to get. I need to check the price of them there. 900, 800, 1,200, 1,000. 1,500 for speed. So speed, charisma tend to be the most expensive ones. Fire's quite expensive. Water's quite cheap actually, so that's good. Ice, quite expensive. Wind's quite expensive. Machine's expensive. So that's the thing, machine is the one that we really need. I'm going to equip one of each to each Digimon. I know that just used up like all my bit, but believe me, the machine attack is the bigger threat. The water attack is a threat, but it's way more manageable, I guess, is the best way to put it. What about the TNT? How much does the TNT balls sell for? 20. Eh, not much. They're not really worth selling then, are they? If I wanted to, I could sell the Patamon armor. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep the Digimon armor. Alright. I think that's good. I think each Digimon now has at least some machine tolerance to it. So yeah, if you have the extra bit for it, I'd also recommend water rings. But it's not absolutely required. I mean, the machine ring isn't required. I just think it helps just reduce some of the damage we might be taking in this fight, because the machine attack is the more deadly of the two between the water and machine attack. But yeah. So this is Growlmon. We finally have a new Digimon to look at. Growlmon, like I say, a bit less defensive than Greymon is, but he gets some really good support techniques, and more importantly, he also is way faster, which will help us out, and he has a tiny bit more machine tolerance than Greymon had, which is good for us. The good thing as well is you can always swap which forms you want to appear in battle, so if you wanted to level up a different form for a bit, you could do that. Like right now I'm training up Growlmon, but there's nothing stopping me from saying I want to train up Greymon. And in battle, you do always have the choice to digivolve mid-battle to any of the forms that you want, and whichever form you become will gain XP for being involved in that battle, as long as they are alive at the end of the battle. That's why life discs are so important in this game, and why I recommend getting a couple whenever you can. But yeah, but I think we're in a good place now to just go for the boss fight. We've got everyone a new form, we've got a good bit of training going. Everyone's got a machine ring to help reduce some of the metal damage we'll be taking. I've bigged it up long enough, I think it's time to make our way to the boss fight. Not the tree. A good thing about a part like this as well is, despite the fact we've done a lot of level grinding, it kind of means now I can just play through the story a bit more without having to worry, because the next couple boss fights, I don't really have to worry too much about my stats and things, because I'm kind of at a decent place and I've got some good forms and things to fight the next bosses in the game. I'll still be leveling up while I'm fighting my way through those areas, so it's not like I won't be gaining levels or neglecting my Digimon. It's just I won't be spending as long specifically in one spot training. I'll probably be doing it all around the next part of the game, and while I'm off doing other things. So I know now not to fish here, because Divermon show up. You know, it's in the name Divermon Lake. You'd think I'd realise there's going to be Divermon in the water, but I didn't expect them to show up so early. But okay, so I'm going to heal and save the Seiyu City, just to be sure that if anything happens to go wrong, I've got a save point somewhere close to the East Station where I need to go. I'm also hoping that Agumon can beat Digimon in one hit now, all the way to the station, because it'll save me so much money. It saves me time on healing and everything if he could just one-shot enemies going forward. But yeah. I could lead with Renamon, but I kind of want to save Renamon for the actual boss fight itself, rather than using them for the next part of the game. Hang on, do I need healing at all? I don't even need to use the inn. I'm that undamaged. Yeah, Alright. I should also show this off while I'm here. So Piximon here lets you not only switch Digimon, but it lets you load up your techniques. So I'm pretty sure you go to Digivolve. If it lets you load, it'll say they'll be highlighted, which we can't do on new, but I remember seeing, I think it was Hookmon can load one. Yeah, we can load Wingbuster now, which means basically every evolution, while Hookmon is in the party, can use that technique on Monmon. So say XVmon there wanted to use Wingbuster, it's now an option, which is good because it gives XVmon a physical attack at least for me to use. So I don't have to rely on its weaker special attacks that it lands. Like, XVmon's not an awful Digimon, he's just not a very good physical attacking Digimon, so yeah, Monmon's better to train as Hookmon for the time being. But as we save the game, we'll be getting ready for the boss. Alright. So now, let's go! Off to East Station. At this point, I feel good and ready for the boss fight. I say that and I will get absolutely devastated. But I feel like I've got a good strategy going in. Basically, we're going to use Renamon's Thunder techniques until Renamon faints. Then I'm going to use Agumon's Water attack to try and deal a bit more damage until it faints. And then I'm going to use a Life Disc as soon as I get to Monmon, basically, and just hope that works out alright. Not a perfect plan, but I feel like it's enough of a plan. We've trained up our stats, we've got some good equipment, we've got some new forms as well. I feel like this is about as prepared as I can be without excessively grinding up to level 15 on each Digimon, because I've read guides online saying you should level up to 15 of your rookies, and I think that's excessive. Like, yeah, it's great if you could do that, but you absolutely do not need to be level 15 on each rookie to fight this boss and win. Life Discs are your best friend, like I say. Life Disc is your best friend, Power Charges are great. There are Digimon you could grind against that give decent XP. Come on, block it, block it, block it. Yeah! Oh, come on, you're amazing. There you go, level 2 on Growlmon. 24 more, I'm pretty sure it's level 25 when you get Picking Claw, which is going to be very important for us going forward, so I'm going to spend a bit of time using Growlmon. But right now, we've made it to the station. So now that we're here, thankfully there's no wild Digimon in the station, so I can just fix up my team. So we're going to have Renamon in the lead, because we want those special Thunder attacks to come out. And let's go for it. We should now be able to do this. Great, now I get access. Beep beep, please wait, confirming data. It worked, now I can go to South Sector. We get to finally ride the gondola. And we get a unique cutscene that we will never see again for the rest of the game. Huh? What's going on? Code red, we will stop momentarily for safety reasons. Earthquake! Boom! What the? Is that a Digimon? Alright, time for the boss. The Iron Wall of the early game. This is Bulbmon, or Valvemon as it's called, I think in Japan. This is a dangerous Digimon who has high physical defense, hits insanely hard, hits insanely fast, but he doesn't like thunder and water techniques since he's a machine type Digimon. But as you'll see right here, he hits really hard, and that is only because I have the accessory that I took that hit the way I did. So what I want to actually do a minute is I want to build up my power gauge, or my drive gauge bit. I was hoping for Mad Pump. Yes, that's good. Oh, that works too. I want to try and keep Renamon in as long as I can, because Renamon has the best damage in this fight. Because Bulbmon has really high physical defense, but his wisdom isn't as high, meaning our attack does a lot more to him. This is the water technique Mad Pump, which can be just as deadly, honestly. Don't underestimate this Digimon for his damage. But if you've trained up a bit, like I have, and you bring plenty of healing items, you should be able to get through this fight. I'd recommend trying not to lose too many Digimon here, just because, as you'll see, this isn't the most rewarding fight in the game. In fact, it's the least rewarding fight in the entire game. So you kind of want to just get through the fight. Like I say, I'm not going to worry about healing up. The fact Renamon got that much damage is more than enough for me. Now I'm just going to get Growlmon in here. And we're just going to start chipping away at him with attacks. With regular physical attacks. And since we got that water accessory, it does a little bit extra to him. And as you see here, the coward runs away when he's low enough health. So yeah, you don't get any XP, you don't get any bit, you get nothing for fighting him, unfortunately. Yeah. Ah! Hey, wait! Shoot, it got away. Thank you for waiting. We will now resume gondola operation. So yeah. Didn't seem hard. Believe me, that thing hits hard as heck without that accessory, without the training that I've done. I finally made the South Sector, but I wonder what that Digimon was. Like I say, that Digimon hits insanely hard, it's insanely fast, it has massive physical bulk, it is a threat. Don't underestimate that Digimon, or you are in for a painful time. But thankfully we did it on the first try, with pretty good health as well, and I mean I beat it in just a couple of minutes. But there we go, we are now officially in the next part of the game, the South Sector. This is Swampy Sector. This is Bulk Swamp. You know what, I want to see if we could card battle or Digimon battle. Let's find out. Hey kid, you want to get hurt? Okay, so it's Digimon battle, that's fine by me. Let's get some XP going. Starting with Vedamon, a new Digimon. Vedamon are annoying because they only have one regular attack, and while it's not the strongest attack, it's not weak either. The real threat is it has a chance to put you to sleep, which you don't want. Luckily, they're very weak to Thunder, so take advantage of that where you can. Thundermon here, though, is a bit more annoying. Obviously, as a Thunder Digimon, he's not weak to Thunder. He's weak to Water, of all things. So, bit annoying. He's quite fast, hits you decently hard with Thunder techniques, but if your Thunder tolerance is decent, he's not too bad of a threat. I think he's actually... he can hit decently hard, but he's not the worst Digimon around for damage. Just as long as you have a decent Thunder tolerance, he won't do insane numbers to you. Like, I'll show a Thunderbolt here. Like, I don't think it's bad damage, but it's not good either, because like I say, he is a Thunder Digimon. Let's try out Ice Blow. For comparison, I did 73. Ice Blow did 194. So a bit of a difference there. That's why elemental weaknesses are really important to take advantage of in this game, wherever you can. And it's why Renamon is so useful for the start of the game. Despite being really frail, Renamon gets some insanely powerful move coverage early on with Thunder and Ice. So it's definitely worth training on. Oh my god, we got a Bolt Power 1. I believe that's from the Thundermon. But that is a really lucky drop for so early in the game. So we are going to go ahead and give that one to Monmon. Since he's going to use physical attacks, I feel like Bolt Power is a good idea. Now, even though Renamon is our special attacker, I am actually going to go ahead and use Stingmon for a little moment. Like, Stingmon, you can see it drops a bit in spirit, but it gains more speed, and it gains a little bit more physical attack. So even though we're not going to be hitting really hard compared to our other two Digimon, I do still want to use Stingmon, because I want to start working towards Stingmon's evolution paths. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go back. No. So let's keep going. Let's keep going forward for now. And we'll work on things as we go along. Hello. Ni hao, I'm Mei-Ling from Peking. There are many tamers in China too. Let's Digimon battle. I'll show you my Digimon. That's a Kung Fu style? Okay. Ooh, Devimon. One of my favorite rookie Digimon. So yeah, Stingmon isn't amazing on Renamon, to be honest. Like I say, Renamon's not really as much of a physical attacker, but it does gain access to some good spirit attacks in time. So we are going to be doing a bit of weaker damage for a bit, but I do still recommend trying out Stingmon, especially for the boosted speed he gains. Plus, Stingmon is one of my favourite designs of any Digimon. I really like him. I have a bit of a nitpick though with Stingmon, where there's a wasp Digimon called Flymon, which is, you know, a fly. Like, but he's not a fly because he's a wasp. So I've always wondered, why is Stingmon and Flymon? It's really weird to me. But yeah. Also, with XVmon and Renamon, with Renamon and Monmon having XVmon and Stingmon, we gain access to our second DNA Digivolution of the game. With the two of them, we get to combine, just like in DNA Digivolve, like in Adventurer 2, into Pyeldramon, which is pretty cool. And the coolest thing about Pyeldramon is he's actually one of the only DNA Digimon in this game you can actually get as a permanent Digimon, which I really like. But to get him, you need to have Stingmon and XVmon. I think at least level 5 on a Digimon together. Which is easier said than done, because most Digimon don't get access to those two together. With some exceptions. Yeah. So, what's this? Oh, well, it's a Digimon. So, yeah. We got some new Digimon here. Starting with a recolor of Yanmamon, which was an insect Digimon we could bump into in the East Sector in Wind Prairie. However, unlike the electric attack of the original Yanmamon, this one's just a stronger physical attack. Still want to watch out for some of the Digimon here. Obviously, the South Sector Digimon are a bit stronger, but they typically have weaknesses to... There's a lot of thunder weaknesses here, with a lot of Digimon being water Digimon. Fire is also really useful because there's a lot of undead Digimon in a certain section. We got Tin Mail. I don't need a Tin Mail. I already have better than that. Or I have that. I don't remember which one. But yeah. Alright, Tranquil Swamp. Well, I wanted to talk to the guy, but sure, we'll fight a Digimon. Oh, we have Gekomon. This is the first threatening Digimon. He doesn't seem imposing. You know, he seems pretty silly with that little tuba around his neck. And to be fair, Geckomon's physical attack isn't super strong. Like, it's not super weak, but it's not that strong either. The threat with Geckomon is simply the fact that they have a move called Confuse Gas, which can confuse you. And when you're confused, all your attack options become randomized. You get this silly music that plays, and it could cause a lot of problem. It could get you stuck in a fight if you get unlucky enough, because only one of your options will be to attack. However, Geckomon are worth fighting because they have a chance to drop the Ice Power, which is a insanely good accessory to get so early on. You should go to that room, that was a ghost, I'm sure of it. But yeah, the Ice Power is insanely good to gain access to. Alright, let's enter the room. This is Shaman House. Hell, that's weird, there's no one here. Woo! Well, what? Woo! What's that? It's a ghost! Well, alright, on to the... Let's go... Oh, for goodness sake. It's me being clumsy. Alright. You know what, I will DNA Evolve again. I can do another Pyildramon, because I want to get to the... I just want to get to the inn already. To heal up. Well, I want to heal and I want to save, so I know that we've got that boss fight done. The good thing as well about the DNA Digivolve method of fighting Digimon is you gain XP on both the Digimon that took place in that attack. As far as I know. I might be wrong about that. I don't know if you get it if you knock out the Digimon without switching, but I believe you do. But yeah, we'll find out in a moment. Yeah, you do on both Digimon, which is pretty useful. Good, alright. So we have our little inn here, the Swamp Inn. See what's going on here. Welcome to my inn. Please take your time to rest. Do 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 do. What do you have to say, Gatomon? Were you surprised by all the Gatomon? We're all here to learn how to become managers of the inns. I think that's pretty cool. Like, it's a fun little world building there. So let's save for the Gardramon. I'm going to go on just a little bit longer until the next little story section. Simply because I've spent a lot of this part grinding up levels, so I figure I might as well just do a little bit more. Just get a little bit more progress made. We won't go on for too much longer, I want to try and get to the next little section of the game. As I think the story bit's interesting, and I figure it'll be it's a good time to just make some story progress that isn't just me fighting enemies over and over, like in a corner. I mean, this whole game is fighting enemies over and over, but like I'm not just like fighting in a corner for ages. But yeah, I do want to try and make a part every week if I can. Like I say, if I have to take little breaks, I'll have to take little breaks here and there. But yeah, I am trying to like create a bit more of a structure this year for my videos. Since this game is so long, I might end up taking some breaks throughout the year just to play some other games here and there. But this is going to be predominantly the big playthrough of the year, since, well, it's the longest game that I want to play this year. And, you know, I love this game. Like, I've always wanted to do a playthrough or a video of my favourite game ever. And I think there's just so much about it that just makes me so happy. And, you know, I'm having a good time playing it. And I hope you're all enjoying watching it as well. Seeing it in action. Because it's not like this is a really well-known game. Like, it's pretty obscure. Like, if you ask just a random person about video games, this isn't one that will really come up. Even with, like, people are into retro games, it's very much sort of its own thing. Like, if you know about it, great, but you might not necessarily know about it. Okay, nothing there. I'm just going to check, before I go on to the next part, if there's anything down here. Because I know there's a little part of the map here, but I don't remember if there's any items in here. I figure I might as well do a little exploring of the new server. I do really like the swamp aesthetic. Like, I think it's cool that each server of the world has some sort of aesthetic. Like, the first server, the east sector, is just sort of like a mountainous. It's sort of like a mountainous area because it's got like the big Tirana Valley and like the all the forests, but it's also got like the wind prairie and the lake at the park. So it feels very like a mix of natural with a bit of mountainside to it. And then the south sector here is all about like swamps and grassy area. Like, there's no mountains in this part. It's all about the being lower and more earthly, which is quite cool though. I quite like that it's a very different feel to it to the first server. And the other two servers, the west and north, managed to do that as well. Like, they mix things up a bit with the environments, and I quite like that. I know that Renamon should really be using like special technique like right now, but against the Seadramons, but I want to get Stingmon some level ups. Okay, cool. This is also a good place to train because Seadramon is almost exclusively what's here. Not always, but sometimes. What is this? There's something written on the back. I think I saw it somewhere, I can't recollect. Yeah, so this shrine will be important later on in the game, but yeah, there's nothing to worry about right now. So I just wanted to see if there are any items here, because it has, like I say, I don't remember everything about this game, like, off by heart. But there's a lot of stuff I've learnt about the game, from repeated playthroughs and watching videos on it. One thing I have learned, for definite, besides watch out for Geckomon, is this very next area I'm going to go into is potentially the most dangerous and could result in a game over if you're not careful enough. But it's only dangerous for this section of the game. It will calm down once I've done the next part of the story. The dangerous Digimon there will leave that area and you'll fight the regular Digimon in there, so it becomes a lot easier to manage. But for right now, we want to watch our step in the next place we're going. Defeat that Geckomon. Level 5 Stingmon. And he didn't learn a technique, that's just great. Okay. So this is Jungle Grave, home to some wonderful music and extremely dangerous Digimon that I hope we don't bump into. We bump into it, great. So we want to watch out for this Digimon Musyamon. My advice is just run. Try your best to run. If not, hope you can blast and take this Digimon out, because he hits stupidly hard for this part of the game with powerful dark techniques that, quite frankly, we shouldn't have yet. I may end up going through a life disc or two, but you want to run from these fights. Don't even bother fighting him. He is way too strong, way too bulky. He is a game ender if you get it all, if you manage to bump into him. But he will disappear once we've done this part of the story. You just have to watch out for him. But anyway, let's keep going. Lucky for me, I didn't bump into another one after that. Hey, hey, wait! I'm not going to let you pass through here. You gotta be kidding, I need to go over there. Then try to beat me. Of course I never lose. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, right. And always a first time. I'm curious what happens here, because I've never done this with this specific situation. So, this is Zambamon. he is unbeatable. As you will see. His first attack will always make you run away from the fight, regardless of your HP. I was curious whether or not it would actually kill me, but no, it makes you run away. What? You're running away in the middle of the battle? You're no match for me. Man, what's going on? Just watch, I've got to win, I'll be back. You're all talk, kid. Ha 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 ha. Thankfully, they take you out of the area. Do not, under any circumstance, try to go back there. If you go back there right now, he will kill you, and there is no possible way for you to defeat him at this point in the game. Like, you could do all the grinding you want, he is programmed to be unbeatable. So what do you do? How do we deal with Zambamon? Well, let's go to the Swamp Inn and find out. Let's talk to the Gatomon first. Everyone is annoyed by Zambamon in Jungle Grave. Sepicmon in Shaman House should be able to do something, but we haven't seen him in a while. I don't know why. So that gives us a little hint as to where to go next. So let's make our way to Shaman House again. Thankfully, Zambamon, not Zambamon, Museumon only shows up in that one part of the game. Or at least for now. So we don't have to worry about him popping up against us in these other fights. Good job, Renamon. We don't want to deal with that confused gas. I'm sure at some point in this playthrough I will get hit by one and we'll see confusion. But I do just want to get through this. Because this next part of the game is a little tedious. This is the other part that everyone gets annoyed at with backtracking, but it'll make sense as we go along. I would love an ice power, that'd be really nice from the Gekomon. But yeah, let's talk to you. You shouldn't go into that room, there was a ghost, I'm sure of it. Okay, so we want to go to we want to go into the Shaman House. Which, you need to make sure you talk to that Gatomon first. Woo, woo. You must be Sepicmon. Woo. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want? Hi, can you tell me how to beat Zambamon? I can, but first I have one request. I lost my precious mask somewhere. If I don't have it, no one can see me. So if you find it, I'll tell you what you want to do. Alright, fine, I'll go and find your mask. I had it when I was with Baronmon, so I must have dropped it after that. Okay, thanks a lot. So, okay then. So let's go to the east server, start having a search for someone called Baronmon. First, fighting. It's fly on fly action. Or dragonfly on superhuman fly action, I guess. 6, nice. Like I said, I will give other Digimon a chance to shine. I'm just trying to get some level ups on Renamon right now, because he's the frailest of the three. She's the frailest of the three. Oh, hello, Kale. Hey, Green Sea, listen. I saw a Digimon with an amazing face going to East Sector. I think that was Baronmon. Alright, so we gotta go to East Sector. So let's make our way back. I know it seems weird that we go to South Sector, get a little exploration, and then we have to go all the way back, but it's a little tease. Andy's great. Andy's gonna be the world server champ. I'm Andy Jarl's native diver in Switzerland. Naturally, I am the server champ. I'll prove it by showing you my powers. Digimon battle is fine, yeah? Yeah. I like to give you the accent specifically for that. Alright, he only has 2 Digimon. And they're 2 pretty strong Digimon, all things considered. We have Triceramon here, who we are very well accustomed with. I'm actually going to de-Digivolve here into Cubimon, because I'm going to want some ice power. I do have to watch out though, because obviously his attack's pretty strong. But I want to get some XP on Cubimon as well for this. And just to speed things up, I feel like Cubimon's going to do us better. Alright, Ice Blow. Let's see how much this does in contrast to that attack from Stingmon. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot better. The problem with Cubimon is that obviously they take a lot more damage than Stingmon does. But in return, they deal more damage with their special attacks. So there goes Triceramon. That's 1. And this next Digimon is going to be very important for us later in the game. This is Tuskmon. Tuskmon is a very special Digimon in this game because he has the best item that any Digimon can drop. It's called the Counter Crest. And if you know anything about this game, it's that the Counter Crest is ridiculously strong. If you know anything else about Tuskmon, it should be that ice is his biggest weakness. He hits hard, he's bulky, he's moderately fast, but he hates ice attacks. So Renamon is really good at just fighting at Tuskmon, if you just want to fight them head to head. But we're going to want to have Growlmon with Picking Claw fight against Tuskmons. Now, unfortunately, we did not get the Counter Crest, and I have never ever got the Counter Crest from that fight, so I'm not sure if it's possible. But yeah, it's true I lost to you last time, but I'm going to triumph in the end. Andy, you're the greatest. Andy's going to be the world champ. Whatever you say. Let's go to East Sector. This says the same thing every time, so. Accessing satellite account confirmed. Starting the gondola. So what we need to do now is start making my way through the East Sector to find where Baronmon is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to make my way back to Sayu City, and I'm going to heal and I think save there, as I think this is a good place to start wrapping things up for this part. But like I say, I need to get to Sayu City just to heal up and save with the progress I've made. And of course now all the Digimon are going to be showing up fighting me non-stop. But you know what, that's just more XP for Renamon. Come on, Stingmon, you can take that. Yeah, you can. Good job. I know my blast gauge is nearly full, but honestly, we've already seen Renamon's blast Digivolution into Taomon. Taomon's not very good without special techniques, as it turns out. With special techniques, however, Taomon is a menace of a Digimon. So don't let the signature move put you off the Digimon. There are some cases where they just gave them the wrong attribute for the special move. I think Guilmon gets War Growlmon's final move is a wisdom move, is a spirit move, even though Guilmon is a physical attacker. But that doesn't make War Growlmon bad at all. He's still a pretty strong Digimon. But alright. Right, we are back at Sayu City. How much bit have I got? 1,600. That's pretty good, actually. I'm going to heal up first, because, you know, I always want to use the inns first. No, still says the same thing. That's fine. Still can't upgrade our armor any further. I mean, I could keep saving money and buy something from Asuka City with no expensive armory, but it's pretty expensive, all things considered. What do you have to say, Agumon? Barramon, he isn't here. He likes forests and ruins, so maybe he's there. Big hint there to where to go, for where you need to go. I'm curious, actually. Can we talk to you yet? Let's see what you have to say. Wargralmon isn't here either. Oh, I'm Jimmy. I researched the DRI. Hey, if you have time, can you help me? It's easy. Just get a Guilmon DDNA from Wargralmon. If you do it, I'll add Guilmon as your partner. Alright, I believe we've unlocked that quest now. So, if we ever find a Wargralmon out and about, that will be a boss fight to get the DNA to get Guilmon as a potential partner. But that could be for another time. As I save the game one last time. I realise watching saving is not the most entertaining thing, but I will need to keep saving through the game, just to not lose progress. But anyway, we made our way into the south sector, and we've leveled up our Digimon a whole bunch. We beat Bulbmon before he ran away. So, next time on Digimon World 2003, we will be exploring the east sector for the Mask Sepicmon lost in order to explore the rest of the south sector. But thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all take care and have a good night. Take care. Bye.